Hello, welcome to Learn to Read with Bruce. This is lesson number 8 in our series of 21. Before I go any further, I need to thank my good friend Annette Sams for the use of her piano for lesson 7. I forgot to thank her for that. But as you can see, we're back to the guitar today, and I'm going to do an old country song, sort of a country rock. Jerry says it's one of his favorites. And for this one, Jane is not going to move her finger or the pen along because the words go so fast, and we're hoping that by this time you can follow the words on your own. We're going to give that a shot and see how it goes. It's a song called Nashville Cats. It reminds me of a good friend of mine here in Elkins named Brad Gum, who can definitely pick more notes than the number of ants on a Tennessee anthill. If you've ever heard Bradley play, you know that's true. And if you haven't heard him play, you can go see him at American Mountain Theater. He plays there with the house band. It's worth the price of admission. Plus, there's all those other talented people, too. So here we go with this week's song. Get the words. I'm going to try to do it slower than usual, but it's probably going to speed up. Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're 2. Well, there's 1,352 guitar pickers in Nashville, and they can pick more notes than the number of ants on a Tennessee anthill. Yeah, there's 1,352 guitar cases in Nashville, and anyone that unpacks its guitar can play twice as better than I will. Yes, I was just 13. You might say I was a musical proverbial knee-high when I heard a couple new sounding tunes on the tubes, and they blasted me sky high. And the record man said, everyone is a yellow sun record from Nashville, and up north here ain't nobody buys them. But I said, but I will. And it was Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're 2. Well, there's 16,821 mothers from Nashville. All their friends play music and they ain't uptight if one of the kids will, because it's custom made for any mother's son to be a guitar picker in Nashville. And I sure am glad I got a chance to say a word about the music and the mothers from Nashville. The Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're 2. So there's Nashville Cats, a great old song by John Sebastian. Jerry and I were talking about him. Was a great songwriter during the 60s and 70s, probably the 50s too. And he's probably still writing songs, although I haven't been following his career that closely. Jane's going to put up now the other page with the underlining and the circles, just to show you again that a lot of the words are decodable using the Caldwell units and the instant words. Take a look. Now Nashville, that's the name of a city in Tennessee, of course, has an ill in it. And I don't think we've had that unit yet, but it is one of the units. Cats, of course, is a pretty simple word. This one does not have as many decipherable words as our last one, Imagine, from lesson 7, but it still has quite a few, because you see most of the page is covered with circles and underlines. Of course, once you know Nashville, you know quite a lot of the words of the song, because it's all through there. There are some number words here, 1,352. We have the 2, but the 50 isn't there. Guitar is in there several places. No units, and it's not one of the first 300. So, but again, if you're already familiar with the song, which a lot of us adults are, you can probably just pull the words out of your own memory. Country, by the way, is one of our units. I only have one line under it. I think there should be 3, by the way. I did the same thing as before. If it has 2 lines under it, it's from the second 100 words. 1 line means from the first 100 words, and 3 lines, like mountain, means it's from the third 100 words in our lists. All right? So, again, you can get copies of it at the Elkins Library. They're free. Just go down and ask for one, and you get a copy of this without all the scrawly lines and circles on it, and you'll get a copy of today's lesson, which is lesson 8, and you can practice on your own at home. Okay? So, time for our exercises. We're going to continue these exercises probably at least through lesson 10. I'm not sure if we'll keep doing them after that because you're supposed to be doing them at home. So first I'll do the lazy eights. Left hand out, big circle left, big circle right, always coming back to the middle. And Jane's already put the units up there for us. And I must apologize for lesson 7. I forgot to do 2 of the exercises, so I'll try to remember to do them today. People might, if you were watching, you might have been saying, what's he skipping things for? But sometimes I kind of get on a roll and don't get everything done. Both hands together. Left, middle, right, middle, counterclockwise, and clockwise. Again, you should be doing this every day on your own for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now we'll do the cross crawling. Jane has the units up there. We need to go up just a little higher because we need the can and cent and the shin and shin. Just a little bit higher? Okay, great. Do you have that, Jerry? Yeah. Okay, and you're going to go as I go, right? Yeah. So left hand, right knee, and same thing in reverse, right hand, left knee. You can hear me tapping. Jerry's got it on the units. Here we go. If you would point to them, that might be good because these are weird sounds. Able, ack, ale, ain, ache, and, art, ation, a. And down at the very bottom, can and cent. Next column. Ed, e, l, n, and, ent, s, est. Next column. The eyes. Ich, ite, ike, ill, im, ing, ip, ish, ist. Okay, the O's. O, awk, oi, old, ooh. I'm off rhythm. Or, ound, o, and oi. Down at the bottom, shun and shun. Last column, and Okay, here's the exercise I forgot last time. I forgot to do the hookups. So Jerry's coming back on me. And right ankle over left, right wrist over left, fingers locked together, and bring your fingertips into your sternum and just relax. If you have to take a test, like a driver's test or any kind of an exam, this is a good one to do before that. Just helps you to relax. Looks a little strange, but do it before you leave the house. And switch. Left ankle over right, left wrist over right, and the hands come in. And just slow your breathing down. Again, this is one you can do while you're sitting there watching television. You can do it sitting down or standing up. And then think of the giant X in your mind to help you get ready for reading. Okay? We're going to review the previous units now and look at our new ones for today. Okay, there we go. All right, if we can cover up lesson 9 on down. Just need the first 8. Okay. All right. Are we in the glare, Jer?
It's okay.
Huh?
I'll get it.
Okay. All right, so we've got our, again, lesson 1, M and R, L and A, and is and the. Lesson 2, we had the S, SM, SMA, ake and ing, our units in and with. Lesson 3, the W sound wa. Then we added the W and the S for swa. Ant and ound were our new units. Into, of, and to were our sight words. 4, we had B, the letter B. We added the B to the R for bruh. And you have and and ick. On and from were the sight words. Lesson 5, added the P. To the P, we added an R for pruh, and then an SP, spa, and an SPR for spruh. Ain and est are the units. She and girl were the words. I don't know why that comma's over there. It seems like it just flopped over from somewhere. Lesson 6 was the J sound, no blends. Ack and ill were the new units, by and was were the words. Lesson 7 added the H sound. Added to the H and S in the front, you get sh. And you have and M were the units. I and said were the new words. Now here's lesson 8 today. We're adding the letter T. Now to T we can add all kinds of stuff for blends. We're adding the S to the T for sta. Then we add an S to T and put the R on the end, stra, like street. Then you can put the T with an H behind it, th or the, can be pronounced two ways. Then you can have a T, H, and an R for thra. And if you add like an E, you get the number 3. And then you can drop the H out and just give a TR for tra, like tree, or trim, or track. Okay? So all kinds of new words you're going to be able to build now, and we've added he and his, 2 masculine singular pronouns. So let's look at our story now. Story number 8 in the Caldwell Reading Books. By the way, if you have the money and the inclination, you can contact Ed. These books are very inexpensive. I'm not sure what the price is. I'll check that before I do lesson 9. But he'll send you one book alone, or he can send you, the whole set. I think the last time I ordered a set, the whole set of books, and there were about 10 or 11 of them, was about $70. I'm thinking of maybe getting a set to put in the Elkins Library. I've got to contact Ed about that. I need to see the title, please. Okay? Because there's a story about this title. You look at the size of the word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a 12-letter word. All right, and we're on lesson 8. But break it apart, we've got ent, ain, ing, 4 units and 1 stray letter. Entertaining. And this always reminds me of the story that Grace Stoop told me. She's the one that introduced me to the Caldwell Reading Program. And I was teaching together with her years ago in the 7th grade, and she said, "Have you ever heard of Caldwell?" I said, "No." She said, "This program is unbelievable." She had a 5th grader came into her class one day, couldn't read at all, 5th grade. And she had just been, I guess, to a presentation about Ed's program, and she contacted him, and I believe Ed even gave her the stuff either very cheap or for free. So the boy started working with it at the beginning of the school year. By the end of that school year, he went from not being able to read, he wrote Ed his own 2-page letter, thanking him for teaching him to read. That's how powerful the program can be if a person wants to work with it. Because one day the kid came into Grace's class and this word was on the board. Very closely related. Another long word. The kid glanced up and said, "Oh, that's entertainment." And Grace broke into tears at that point. She was so excited and happy. So always remember that story when I see that word. All right, so we've got the entertaining mailman. We're going to move along with Caldwell. I've talked enough. And there's a picture. Looks like there's Ray, our friend the mailman. And Jane's going to read. I'm going to point to the words and try to stay with her. Okay.
Ray's back is straining from Jill's bran sacks. He says he will rest his back and entertain Jill and her mill hands.
Question, why does Ray's back hurt? Look back in the reading. Oh, it was the mail sacks. That's okay. The mail sacks. Did we miss a page? No, I guess not. I'm sorry. Suddenly he's singing. Oh, so he's dropped his sack. He feels better. He's singing, I guess, huh?
He entertains by singing and singing. His singing seems to make the mill hands swing and sway. Jill says Ray's singing is sweet and tender.
Question 2, Ray entertains the mill hands with his, and you fill in the blank, and you look back, he is singing. Question 3, do the mill hands like Ray's singing, and how can you tell? Well, it makes them swing and sway, and Jill says it's sweet and tender, so it sounds like they like his singing. Maybe he's singing Nashville Cats. I think his singing isn't liked by one of our characters.
Hick the hound says Ray's singing is shrill and stinging. He is in pain from Ray's shrill singing. Hick weeps and wails.
Okay. And does Hick enjoy Ray's singing? Obviously not. because he's weeping and wailing. So Hicks got the sack, Ray still singing.
Hick takes Ray's mail sack to him. Ray says he is still in pain from his bent back. He says, I will stick to entertaining Jill and her hands. Ray sings and sings.
Can you move it up a little bit? I can't see the question. Why did Hick take Ray's mail sack to him? I guess it's kind of like when a dog brings a dish to you, they want fed. He's taking the sack to him. He wants Ray to go continue delivering the mail, I guess. Stop singing. There's Hick in a Jeep going to Bill's drugstore. It's not quite, there you go.
Hick bounds from the mill and takes his Jeep to see Bill.
We lost the word there. Okay. Now, Hicks got more talents than we knew. Now he's driving his Jeep across town. Bad news. Again, there's that onomatopoeia where the word is the sound is wham. He's hit the tree.
On the way back to the mill, Hick ran into the tree with his Jeep. His tail was bent.
Hick ran into the tree and bent his fill in the blank. And there it is. Tail. Hick's got something in his paw there for Ray.
Hick bounds back to the mill and hands Ray 3 pain pills. Bill says to take 3 pills to mend bent backs and shrill singing, Hick says to Ray.
So why did Hick go to Bill's drugstore? To get some pills for Ray. What did Hick say the pills would do? Mend bent backs and shrill singing. Wow, that's quite a medication he's offering there, huh? And now it looks like they're having a grand old time laughing, ha ha, ho ha, ha ha, harf, 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 harf. That's Hick's laugh, harf.
Ray said to Hick, I say take 3 pills to mend bent hound tails.
Do you think the pills would help Ray's singing? That's an opinion question. It's up to you. Do you think they would help Hick's tail? I don't know. I don't know if a pill would help that or not. These questions are rather metaphysical today. Is that the end of that story?
Yes.
We have some real long lists of words there. Again, to give you an idea of how many words you can build now, these are just the more words using all the units we've had and all the single letters and the blends. We move it down just a shade here. So we've got band, bandstand, B, beep, brand, entertainers, entertainment, hand, handing, handstands, maintain, maintaining, meeting, meets, paint, painter, painting, paintings, saints. We slide up, sand, sandman, seeing, seam, seeming, sheep. I'm not going to read the rest of them, but I'm going to put this list also in the library with the materials from the stories, because there's just a lot more words. We're getting more and more words all the time here. So now it's time for the practice. And I am going to move over to the other board to see if we can get rid of some of that glare today. Is this a good spot right here, Jerry? Okay, question number 1. What are our units for and E? Okay.
Spell sand.
Sand. So here's our and unit. Sand, I want the sound in front of it.
Add 1 letter to spell stand.
Stand. Oh, that's the camera's up here, right? Okay. st. I have to sneak a little T in there and keep the and. Stand.
Add one letter to spell strand.
Now I'm sticking another sound in there. Instead of sand or stand, we've got strand. We've got stra, and there's our strand.
Spell tree.
Well, here's our E unit. I want some sounds in front of it. Tree, I've got two sounds there, T and tree.
Add a letter to spell three.
Now the whole sound's going to change here because I'm going from tra to thra. To make thra, I've got to do the TH first and then put my R in, and there's three.
Subtract a letter to spell the.
The, well, which sound do I not want? I don't want the R now. The.
Spell straining.
Now these are review units. I need my STR, the stra blend, and I want the ain unit and the ing unit.
Spell a boy's name, Trent.
Trent has to start with a capital T. My tr sound is TR, and I use my ent unit.
Spell he.
He, simple little two-letter word.
Spell his.
His, three letters. And these, again, they're sight words. They're from both lists, both Ed's program and Edward Fry's program. Okay.
Write the letter of the last sound in ailment.
Ailment. T.
Write the letter of the last sound in spend.
Spend. D. D.
Write the letter of the first sound in tending.
First sound. Tending. T.
Write the letter of the first sound in weeps.
Weeps. What?
Write the letter of the fourth sound in stringing.
Fourth sound. Stringing. S. T. I. That's a tough one, but it's a short I.
Write a word that rhymes with strand.
I'm going to pick the shortest one here. Sand. Same ending sound.
Write a word that rhymes with tree.
Tree, three, and the. Again, I'm going to go with the short one. The.
Write a word that rhymes with raining.
Raining. I've got straining or Trent. I think I'm going to go with straining. If you look closely, you can actually see the word raining inside of it.
Write the letter of the final sound in thrill.
Thrill. Oh. Just L.
Write a two-syllable word from Lesson 8.
Sand, stand, strand, tree, three, the, straining. There we go. Straining. And that's our practice for Lesson 8. Jane's going to read tip number 8, which is kind of a weird one, but I got it out of a Paul Harvey column from years ago.
Reading tip number 8. Try holding the reading material at a different angle. Some people find that they read better this way. Your teacher will show you examples of this.
Okay. This sounds really strange, but Paul Harvey had a column about a teacher who was working with kids with severe reading disabilities, and they tried something kind of outrageous. Instead of holding the book the way we normally would, face up like this, some of the kids found that they could read better if they read with the book at a sideways angle to their eyes. Now, I can't read better that way. Some of my students claimed that they could in the past years. I never really found anybody who could. But if you can, just check it out and try it. Maybe it'll work for you. Some even read it with the material held upside down better. But I don't know. To me, it still works the normal way, the usual way. But if a different angle helps you, check it out. Give it a try and see. Okay? That's Like I said, kind of an odd one, but I got it out of an old newspaper column that worked apparently for a group of kids somewhere, and Paul Harvey got a hold of the information and wrote about it in his column. Okay. All right, now we're ready for our new Instant Words page. You've graduated from the first 100, and remember, if you know those first 100 down cold, you have half of everything you'll read or write forever, anywhere in English. They make up at least 50% of what's written in our culture. Okay, so we're just going to, we cover that section, which we just want to zoom in on this column here. Okay. And still, they're still pretty short, fairly short. Over a little bit further, just cover the whole. There we go. Thank you. All right, so you've got new, sound, which by the way has an ound unit in it, take, which has an ake unit, only, little, work has the or unit, which we haven't done yet, no has an o unit, place, year, live, can also be pronounced live, me, back, give, most, very, after, thing, there's your ing unit, our, just, name. We need to move up a little bit on the screen, please. Thank you. Good has the unit. Sentence has ent and n in it. Man has the an unit. Think and the word say, which we already know because it has the a unit. So there's your next 25. As I said, these pages will be at the Elkins Library for anybody to stop by and pick up a copy and to practice with. And it doesn't go up to 100% if you get both pages, but if you get the first 300, you have about 65% of anything that you've read or that you're trying to read. Okay? Let's go ahead and put up the page for the unit search. And we'll pick out a couple of units. That's, the other one, the one that doesn't have a mark. Well, actually, go ahead. Just put that one up. I'm not going to do the search today because I have the reading to do. Yeah. I've already done this page. And this is what we used to do in my classes at the middle school. We'd highlight the units to make them stand out. And this is just the retelling of the same story that Jane just read in the book on the full page for each part. But you can see how Ed's made his program. It's just everything concentrates on those units so that the reader can read just about everything. Any word that doesn't have a unit on it is either part of a question, which was the word hurt, was part of the question 1, or it's one of the sight words like by or he or the. So, and that's how Ed gets those units into your head and helps you to become a reader. So, you can get a clean copy of it again at the library and do your own highlighting or circling if you like. The kids that I had in school really enjoyed that activity. I think they liked it because it was fun. They could work with the highlighters. I think they also liked the fact that we'd put on music while we did it, and they didn't have to listen to me talk at that particular time. What they really enjoyed was if they found a unit that I hadn't found. I used to have a girl, she's probably in her 20s, middle 20s by now. She would just go absolutely, not crazy, but she'd be so happy if she found one. So she'd go, Mr. Dillon, I found one that you didn't find. And I'd always give her a little reward for that because I tried to find it. All right, so the make a word activity, we'll do a couple of those. You can go ahead and just pull that off. And our units and E. So B, band. C, D, E, F, G, H. I, J, K, L, and so forth. You can go through the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, that's a small f, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, I'm not going to write that one, Q, R, S, and we'll stop there. So you can do that again. And now you can, as I mentioned last lesson, looking at your Master Caldwell sheets, you can add all the blends to them too to try to make words. So you're just going to get more and more words. It just builds and builds and builds. So you have a vocabulary of several thousand words by the end of the program. Several thousand sight words and then thousands more that you can decode if you can figure out one more sound in the word. Okay? So we're going to go ahead now and do the review of the song by writing it. Just like I did last time, I'm going to put on the music from Is. The Twinkle Twinkle, because what you want, again, you want to just remember this melody, because we're going to be using it in a couple of weeks. Well, I faded him out. I don't have a lot of room to write today, so I'm going to write smaller. Okay, thanks, Iz. And I don't know if you noticed on the last line I did something different. Since I didn't have much space to write here today, I just traced over the print with my marker instead. And that's a good thing to do too, just for your fine motor coordination and for practicing your letters and symbols and so forth. So I got a little tired of the Palmer method after a while there. So, I have a special thing today. I want to just do a little reading for you. Real life reading. I like to give you various short takes from different things that I've read that I've enjoyed. And I brought my Mark Twain book. This was the one I had with me at the Intermountain when they took my picture for the article. He's probably my favorite author. Probably a lot of people's favorite authors. I don't know if there'll ever be anybody else quite like him again. But I'm just going to read you a few short selections. I'm going to try to put them on the Elmo there. The print is rather small, but we'll see what we can do here. So, go around the other way. The one is in a conversation he's having with his mother when he was a kid, and the other is just a little description of of visiting the farm when he was young. So, I'm down at the bottom of the page. Yeah, I'm going to start right here. He's talking about a local doctor. He says, Dr. Meredith, this is Mark Twain, this is autobiography. He's talking about when he was a kid himself. He says, Dr. Meredith removed to Hannibal by and by and was our family physician there and saved my life several times. Still, he was a good man and meant well. Let it go. I was always told that I was a sickly and precarious and tiresome and uncertain child and lived mainly on allopathic medicines during the first 7 years of my life. I asked my mother about this in her old age. She was in her 88th year and said, I suppose that during all that time you were uneasy about me. That's him talking. And his mother says, yes, the whole time. And he says, afraid I wouldn't live? After a reflective pause, ostensibly to think out the facts, his mother says, no, afraid you would. I guess his mother had the same sense of humor that he had. So I'm going to jump down here. He's talking about life in the country, and I thought a lot of people around here could maybe relate to some of this. So I'm going to start here with his, as I've said, I spent some part of every year at the farm until I was 12 or 13 years old. The life which I led there with my cousins was full of charm, and so is the memory of it yet. I can call back the solemn twilight and mystery of the deep woods, the earthy smells, the faint odors of the wildflowers, the sheen of rain-washed foliage, the rattling clatter of drops when the wind shook the trees, the far-off hammering of woodpeckers, and the muffled drumming of wood pheasants in the remoteness of the forest, the snapshot glimpses of disturbed wild creatures scurrying through the grass. I can call it all back and make it as real as it ever was and as blessed. I can call back the prairie and its loneliness and peace, and a vast hawk hanging motionless in the sky with his wings spread wide and the blue of the vault showing through the fringe of their end feathers. I can see the woods in their autumn dress, the oaks purple, the hickories washed with gold, the maples and the sumacs luminous with crimson fires. And I can hear the rustle made by the fallen leaves as we plowed through them. I can see the blue clusters of wild grapes hanging amongst the foliage of the saplings, and I remember the taste of them and the smell. I know how the wild blackberries looked and how they tasted, and the same with the pawpaws, the hazelnuts and the persimmons. And I can feel the thumping rain upon my head of hickory nuts and walnuts when we were out in the frosty dawns to scramble for them with the pigs, and the gusts of wind loosed them and sent them down. I know the stain of blackberries and how pretty it is, and I know the stain of walnut hulls, and how little it minds soap and water, also what grudged experience it had of either of them. I know the taste of maple sap and when to gather it, and how to arrange the troughs and the delivery tubes, and how to boil down the juice and how to hook the sugar after it is made. Also how much better hooked sugar tastes than any that has honestly come by. Let bigots say what they will. And I know how a prize watermelon looks when it's sunning its fat rotundity among pumpkin vines and simlins. I know how to tell when it is ripe without plugging it. I know how inviting it looks when it is cooling itself in a tub of water under the bed waiting. So some descriptive writing by one of the masters of all time. There's this picture, and we'll let you have a glimpse of Mark's face there. We'll back off a little bit. Whoops. So this is his autobiography, which wasn't allowed to be printed until he'd been dead for 100 years. And I highly recommend the book. It's a great book. I read it a while back. I'll probably reread it again in a couple of years. So we'll close out the way we started. Do we have time?
Yes, go ahead.
Good for time? Okay. So if we can get the Nashville Cats back up there. Jerry, you can sing along this time if you want. Use your help on the chorus there if you want. All right, so Nashville Cats. Before I start, I'd thank, as usual, Dee Roth for the use of the room, Richie Carr for the building, and Dr. Ferris and Board of Education for their permission to use the facility. Kevin and Jerry and Jane here in our live studio, or tape studio, I guess.
Annette for a piano.
And Annette for a piano. I thanked her at the beginning of the show, but thank her again, because I'll be using it again. Nashville Cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're two. Well, there's 1,352 guitar pickers in Nashville, and they can pick more notes than the number of ants on the Tennessee anthill. Yeah, there's 1,352 guitar cases in Nashville, and anyone that unpacks his guitar can play twice as better than I will. Yes, I was just 13, you might say I was a musical proverbial knee-high, when I heard a couple new sounding tunes on the tubes and they blasted me sky high. And the record man said, everyone is a Yellow Sun record from Nashville, and up north here ain't nobody buys them. And I said, but I will. And it was Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're two. Well, there's 16,821 mothers from Nashville. All their friends play music and they ain't uptight if one of the kids will, because it's custom made for any mother's son to be a guitar picker in Nashville. And I sure am glad I got a chance to say a word about the music and the mothers from Nashville. Nashville cats play clean as country water. Nashville cats play wild as Mountain Dew. Nashville cats been playing since they's babies. Nashville cats get work before they're two. Well, so happy reading. See you at lesson 9.